Hello, everybody. My name is Ryan Koki of the Seahawk Recap Show, and welcome to another News of the Week episode. And I hope you are all doing well and staying safe and sound out there. Just like I talked about last week, we've got some big news to talk about, and it involves some big contracts getting signed this week. We had Jalen Waddle last week, and now we've got Justin Jefferson and Christian McCaffrey both signing brand new deals with their respective teams. So we got a lot to talk about. But before we get into this episode, if you like this video, please consider giving it a like. It helps out the channel more than you will know, and it lets me know if I'm doing a good job on these videos. And if you'd like to see any more Seahawks content or just NFL content in general from this channel, please consider subscribing. That would be greatly appreciated. But enough of me rambling on too much. Let's get into today's episode. And yeah, big money, big contracts, and some historical contracts at that. For the first news item of the day, I wanted to talk about the Justin Jefferson extension by the Minnesota Vikings. According to Adam Schefter, the Vikings and Justin Jefferson have reached an agreement on a $140 million contract extension for the next 4 years. 110 million of that contract is guaranteed, making him not only the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history, but this contract also makes him the highest paid non QB in NFL history. Throughout his 4 year career, Justin Jefferson has been one of the best wide receivers in the league since he joined in 2020. I don't think anybody can dispute the amount of impact that Justin Jefferson has had for Minnesota ever since joining them. And although I think this deal is insane, just because the amount of money, $140 million, that is that's an absurd amount of money. There is no way that you can deny the talent that Justin Jefferson has. And I think the Vikings knew as soon as Jalen Waddle signed his contract extension, it was like $84.75 million for 3 years, I believe. And, as soon as Jalen Waddle signed that contract, the Vikings were like, well, we're needing to sign our best wide receiver. He's going to want a lot of money, and they need to, I think, break the bank to keep a guy like Justin Jefferson. I think he's one of the best wide receivers in the league, and we'll see if he can live up to this historic deal. This is an insane deal, and I hope that Justin Jefferson can get a quarterback, whether that's Sam Darnold or whether that's JJ McCarthy, and I hope that he does very well with one of those quarterbacks because this guy not only deserves every penny that he's making on this contract, but he's a very good player, and I just want to see him succeed for the Vikings. Hopefully, this deal will work out for both parties involved. Next up, let's talk about another big signing, and this one I'm actually quite upset about. It's Christian McCaffrey signs an extension with the 49ers. According to Adam Schefter, reigning offensive player of the year, running back Christian McCaffrey has once again reset the running back market by signing a $38 million contract extension over the next 2 years. As a Seahawks fan, that's complete agony. When I heard about this contract extension, I was just like, oh, come on. Like, why? Why do we have Christian McCaffrey, one of the best runners in the league in the NFC West, man? He could have gone anywhere else but the 49ers, and he sticks in the NFC West. And now he's going to be torturing the Seahawks for the next 2 years with the amount of explosive speed that he has on his side. However, as a football fan, when you take away and strip away me being a Seahawks fan for a second, Christian McCaffrey deserves this amount of money, man. This guy was a complete beast for the Panthers when he first joined the league in 2017. And to see him resurrect his career with the 49ers and have an amazing bounce back, coming back from all the injuries that he's had in his career, all the problems that he had in Carolina, he was still able to put up massive numbers. And this year really showed that Christian McCaffrey and Kyle Shanahan in that system, like he's just a beast, man. He played 16 games, had 272 attempts, 1,459 yards, averaged 5.4 yards per carry, and had 14 touchdowns. This guy was just monumental. He had a fantastic season, and I'm really happy for Christian McCaffrey. Just wish he wasn't on the 49ers because now the Seahawks had to face him for 2 more years, and that's twice a year. So you know what, Christian? Couldn't happen to a nicer guy, but wish you weren't on the 49ers. Next up, let's talk about Cleveland extending both Andrew Berry and head coach Kevin Stefanski. Although we don't know the exact contract details of the extensions for both GM Andrew Berry and head coach Kevin Stefanski, these guys both deserve these extensions. And I was looking at finding the contract details, but I couldn't find any. I saw this piece of news on Instagram, and I'm very happy that Cleveland is extending both these guys because ever since coming into the Browns in 2020, they have both done, in my opinion, exceptional work with the Browns. This Browns team, bringing them to the playoffs 2 times in the last 4 years and developing a great culture in Cleveland. Now, a lot of people will look at, Andrew Berry as the GM and go, well, he did sign the Deshaun Watson contract and that's been a fiasco and everything. But to be honest, bringing a team like the Browns into a position where they've made the playoffs in the last 2 years under both these guys is just nothing short of amazement because remember, the Browns were not good at all. Like at all for as long as I can remember. They were not a playoff team and they weren't good. The roster was kind of garbage. And to bring in these 2 guys and see the success that Kevin Stefanski even had this year. Like, I think, for this Browns organization, this was a no-brainer, and, keeping these guys around is a great move for their future, and going back to this year, Kevin Stefanski, man, I believe he was coach of the year, if I'm not mistaken, and he rightfully deserved that award because he really impressed me this year considering all the injuries that, his team went through, and despite all the trials and tribulations, he was still able to bring in this roster to the playoffs. Remember, Deshaun Watson went down. They had a bunch of QB issues. Nick Chubb got taken out for the rest of the season in week 2 of the season this year, and they were still able to use guys like Strong and things. And they also brought in Joe Flacco off of the couch, and he became comeback player of the year because of what he was able to do in Cleveland. And that all comes down to the system that Kevin Stefanski is able to bring. So good job for Cleveland, and they look very bright. If they could, maybe bring in a couple more guys and bring in some more firepower, I'm wishing all the best for Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Berry, because they really impressed this year, and I hope their success continues into 2024, 2025. And the last thing I wanted to talk about on today's show today was pretty sad news over the week. It's the passing of Cowboys legend Larry Allen. The Dallas Cowboys are very saddened to share that Cowboys legend, Super Bowl champion, Cowboys Ring of Honor member, and Pro Football Hall of Famer Larry Allen has passed away suddenly while on a vacation in Mexico with his family on Sunday. Larry, known for his great athleticism and incredible strength, was one of the most respected, accomplished offensive linemen to ever play in the NFL. His versatility and dependability were also signature parts of his career. Throughout that, he continued to serve as an inspiration for many other players, defining what it meant to be a great teammate, competitor, and winner. He was deeply loved and cared for by his wife, Janelle, whom he referred to as his heart and soul, his daughters, Jayla and Lorena, and son, Larry III. The Jones family and the Cowboys extend their deepest condolences, thoughts, and prayers to the Allen family and grieve along with many other friends and Cowboys teammates that also loved Larry. For me, I never got to watch the Hall of Fame offensive guard play in the NFL. You know, he retired in 2008, and that was a little bit before I started watching the NFL in 2013. But from what I read online, a lot of people were very shocked at this news. Hearing this kind of news always sucks to hear someone pass away, especially someone like Larry Allen, who was one of the best offensive linemen to play the game of football, and people really respected him. And at the age of 52, dying suddenly that young is just a tragedy. And I extend my thoughts and prayers to the Allen family as well. That is it for this episode of News of the Week. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Go Hawks, go! And I will see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day and take care.